It's officially spooky season in Fortnite, as Fortnitemares just dropped today, and there's a lot to talk about, including the return of Midas, which this whole thing is themed around in the first place. Do me a favor though, and drop a like on this thing, and consider subscribing to the channel to make sure you are kept fully up to date with everything going on in the world of Fortnite. There's a ton that's already gone down, and a ton of new leaked skins and skin variants that you could get for free depending on whether or not you already owned that skin. But one thing that everybody can get for free just for logging in during the Fortnitemares event is an exclusive Fortnitemares emote that will be granted to your account immediately upon logging into the game, which is very cool. There were a lot of things added to the game which we'll get into, but one of the more shocking things that were actually removed from the game was the charged shotgun. The charged shotgun was implemented last season and has now been vaulted for the foreseeable future. I've seen a lot of mixed feelings on the charged shotgun. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Personally, I thought it was pretty good, but I guess it isn't really that big of a deal considering we do have the combat and the pump in the game. A couple of new Halloween themed items in the game right now are a witch's broom, which lets you soar around the island, the fiend hunter crossbow, and the pumpkin rocket launcher. There's also new items, consumable items in the form of candy, aka candy corn, and jelly beans, which could add shield or health, or even give you new abilities to use. Now, of course, the whole title and theme of Fortnitemares is Return of the Midas, and Midas has retaken the area that he once inhabited at the agency, the authority, whatever you want to call it. I believe now it's called the Ruins. His name is now Shadow Midas, and when you kill him, you get Shadow Midas's drum gun, which is coated in a purple color that I really like. Now, alongside of Midas actually coming back, he's also got his reincarnated henchmen who are shooting Hunter Fiend crossbows and pumpkin rocket launchers, among several other things at you, and you can actually loot those if you kill them. Another really interesting element is that now, during Fortnitemares, when you die in-game, you become what is called a shadow, and for lack of a better word, it's just a ghost. You basically become a part of Midas's shadow army to help him take his revenge, and then you can actually go and kill other players that are alive. Each shadow has 100 health and can heal back up by eating any supplies they may find around the map. Ammo, weapons, whatever, it doesn't matter. You eat anything and it starts to heal you. Shadows only have one life, and this is a really interesting mechanic that I don't know how it's going to play out, and I guess we're just going to have to wait a couple days or whatever to really get a feel for it, and this is very new for Fortnite. So if you die, you come back as a shadow. After that first death, you are not eliminated. You are not fully eliminated and out of the game until you die again as the shadow. So basically you have 2 lives, 2 attempts to stay alive. Let's say hypothetically you're playing in a squads match and your whole team dies and they all become shadows, but all of those shadows succeed in being the last team alive. You would get what's called a Nightmare Royale. Basically, it's just a win as a shadow, and like I said, this is something that Fortnite is doing very differently, and I kind of like it. I don't like it obviously as a permanent addition, but just as kind of like a change up to the game, it is definitely very cool. Don't know how fair it actually is, but this is exactly what I've been talking about for Fortnite. Don't think about how fair it is. If it's not really fair, that's fine. You ban it from competitive games. But public matches should be about fun, new, interesting ideas, and that's exactly what this is, and this almost certainly is not going to stick around for that long. It's just going to be here until the end of the Fortnitemares event. I want to move on to the storyline aspect of this, and whether or not Fortnitemares actually plays a role in this season's storyline, and I firmly believe it does. So we know Midas, of course, died to the shark at the beginning of the Chapter 2 Season 3 cutscene. We all thought he was dead, and then Donald Mustard went on Twitter and said, yes, Midas is alive, and that's when we all started making theories about what Midas was up to. Well, fast forward another season into Chapter 2 Season 4, and Midas has returned as a shadow version of himself, and has brought along his army of shadows to get his revenge. Of course, we all know what happened to Midas at the end of Chapter 2 Season 2. He failed with his master plan, that was the device, but Midas has also come directly back to the place where his plan failed. I think it's very possible that the main reason Midas is coming back to the place where his plan failed is so he can have a second coming of the device, have another device, and try it again. What else would his revenge be? Trying to tie this all in with the Marvel stuff and the Galactus stuff is a little bit confusing, but it seems like with Fortnitemares they're taking a bit of a step away from that general theme from this season and introducing a different little aspect, which I really like. Would you guys like to see another device come up from the agency, the authority, the ruins, whatever you want to call it, because it's all really the same place? Personally, I thought the device was one of the better events we'd ever seen in Fortnite, and to see another one of those, possibly with him succeeding in his plan, would be great. Remember, there are theories that have been going around, and I made a whole video on this about a week ago, talking about how we could be going back to the old map. I don't know if we are, I don't know if we aren't, but maybe that was Midas's original plan, and now he's here to finish off the job and follow through. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like on this and subscribe if you're new. Make sure to check me out on my Caffeine.tv live stream for free Fortnite gifts and more. You can find that link in the description below. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, peace out.